Hey everyone, this is the new 2024 M3 MacBook Air, and I've been using it for the past few days as my main machine, and it really is an incredible computer. It combines quite a lot of great performance with an incredibly thin and light design, and this year there are a few changes but nothing really too groundbreakingly different. And my specific MacBook Air model is the 16GB of RAM, 512GB SSD model, and it's not the fully spec'd version, but it is still pretty high up there. So now that that's all out of the way, today I'll be showing you a day in the life with this laptop and how I personally use it. I'm starting out today at a local coffee shop. The weather here in Toronto has been amazing for the past few weeks, and it's pretty much t-shirt and patio weather. Almost. First up, replying to some emails. The keyboard and trackpad on this laptop are stellar. Not as great as the MacBook Pro in my opinion, but still very good. And the display outdoors gets quite bright, and even on a sunny day like this, I can still see my work perfectly. After getting through some emails and catching up on Instagram, I started using Google Maps to find some restaurants to save for my trip to Italy in the late spring. It's still a little while away, but I'm honestly just very excited about the food and the rest of the trip as well. This really is a beautiful laptop, and even though the design itself is nothing really super new, it still looks amazing. Apple actually did do something to the paint and coating on this midnight colorway to hide fingerprints and smudges, and it definitely does make a difference, but I still see them here and there. But that being said, I do really love this color quite a bit, and in some lights it's a really dark black, other lights it's a super dark gray, and in other lights it's a dark blue, but I like it. It's a good change from my usual all silver MacBook Pro. After some time working, my battery was just over 90%, which is pretty good, but we're just getting started for today. I had to head out for my first meeting of the day, so I closed on my laptop and tossed it in my bag. The bag is the Teenage Engineering shoulder bag, and I bought this on a whim because I just really like the design. But it turns out it's the perfect 13-inch laptop bag, and with the Air being super lightweight, it's easy to forget I'm actually carrying a full-on laptop with me in this bag. I hopped on the streetcar and took out my laptop again. Just gotta make sure my to-do list is all ready to go so I can stay on track for the day. It's gonna be a busy one. First up today, I'm meeting with my friend Liam to check out his new whip. It's actually not so new though. It's a 1980s Volkswagen Cabriolet, and it is a gorgeous vehicle. Liam just got it, and he wanted some help to document the car, take some photos, some videos, before he fixes some things up and makes some changes. And of course, I'm happy to. First he gave me a quick tour and a bit of history, and then we listed out a bunch of shots that we wanted to get. And then we got to shooting in a few different locations. I'll edit these photos during lunch, which we'll head to soon, but first, a quick stop at a few vintage stores. First up, Vintage by the Pound, then MHC Vintage, and finally, Fever's Vintage. A few great vintage stores in the west side here in Toronto. From there, we hopped in the car and drove down to lunch. A bit of cheeky Nando's. Also, a good opportunity to get some photo edits done. We ordered a bunch of stuff on the menu, and it's always a hit at Nando's, and I can't believe I've never actually been here prior to going here for the first time a few weeks ago. I then airdropped a bunch of the photos to my laptop and picked a few select shots. I then brought those photos into Photoshop to make a few edits, adjust the colors and contrast to make things a bit more consistent across the line, and remove a few things with generative AI and the clone stamp tool. And I'm pretty happy with these final shots. They turned out quite good. It also helps that the car is a really good model. After lunch, we hopped back in the car and headed to our next shoot for the day. working on developing some samples and taking some photos of potential new merch for a gallery in Toronto's west side, General Hardware. We started out by working on some potential designs and layout files in Adobe Illustrator, prepped them, and got everything printed earlier in the week. I then picked up the pieces from the gallery today. We got some shirts, sweaters, tote bags, and even some tea bags, which are still in development. I'm gonna show you what's in my laptop bag right now, a little impromptu. What's in my bag? All right, first up, M3 MacBook Air. You've seen this throughout the whole video. We got the AirPod Maxes. They've been through a lot, but still going. We got this massive 10,000 milliamp hour MagSafe battery for my iPhone. This thing's crazy. Samsung T7 SSD. Little dongle situation over here. Got the Bagoo, of course. Charge up the laptop. I have this 35 watt Nomad Ultra Slim wall charger. It's pretty crazy. And this one's really exciting to me. My USB-C cable to charge my laptop actually extends, and it's like spring-loaded, retractable. And of course the bag I have here is the Teenage Engineering shoulder bag. Perfect for the MacBook Air, it fits inside. There's also these handles you can hold it by. It's a pretty sick bag. Alright, on to the rest of the day. We picked a quiet area behind a building and got to shooting. We wanted to get some really simple shots of this potential merch on concrete with various different angles, and it was starting to turn into golden hour, so it was the perfect time to shoot. Throughout shooting, we airdropped some shots to the Mac to preview, review, and make changes if necessary. And after getting a bunch of shots, we had some pics that we were pretty happy with. We then did a few on-the-spot Photoshop edits, and I'll finish the rest of these up a bit later. I do still have a bunch of work to do at my studio today, so I said peace to Liam and headed out. After getting to the studio, I got straight to work on my to-do list. First, giving it a good clean. I gotta paint the floor in some areas, do some touch-ups, but today's not the day. I also have to shoot some A-roll and voiceover segments for a video I've been developing for almost a full year now, which I hope to share pretty soon. I have a bunch of B-roll already done and on the MacBook, but I need to get a few more studio shots too. And now that that's done, time to get to editing. But first, I just gotta clean up my desk real quick. After a much needed clean and a fresh keyboard and mouse, it's time to roll. I do also have a desk set up in studio tour video in progress too, but that's not ready just yet. You'll see it pretty soon. The MacBook Air does not have an SD card slot for some strange reason, so I had to use the adapter I have plugged into my Pro Display, and it's really no problem, but just a bit annoying. I got to work on editing my footage in Final Cut Pro, piecing it all together, arranging, trimming clips, and the Air definitely kept up. No slowness, nothing. This is gonna be a big edit, but it's doing quite well. I also wanted to do a bit of work arranging the thumbnail for this video, like cleaning up the scene, playing around with text, and getting it kind of thumbnail worthy, I guess. It was getting pretty late, and I wanted to get home to make dinner and relax after this long day. So I grabbed my laptop and headed out. After getting home and saying hi to my cats, I put some music on and gave the Air's speakers a test. They're pretty good. I also got started with cooking while listening to music with my sous chef by my side. I made a bunch of stuff, but overall, a super healthy and simple dinner, and I also tossed on an episode of House. Once all my dishes were clean, I sat down on the couch to keep watching and also get those edits finished for general hardware. Even though I opted for the 13-inch MacBook Air, the screen size is honestly perfect for one complicated task or many tasks happening all at once. I've never felt like the 13-inch screen size is too small, and would rather take portability over larger screens any day of the week. Plus, things like Stage Manager and using an external display at my studio makes the screen actually feel much bigger than it really is. I also checked off a bunch of things on my to-do list in the Reminders app, and it's really been a productive day. I got in bed to keep watching House, and at this point, I'm a little bit addicted. And finally, I was ready for bed, and my battery was at 20%. I plugged in the MagSafe charger, and it was time to go to sleep. Good night. So this has been a look at a full day in the life with the new M3 MacBook Air, and like I said in the intro, I'm quite impressed with this machine. This is an amazing piece of technology. It's very portable, but also still delivers a lot of power and performance and lets me do all of my daily tasks, from simple things like web browsing, using social apps, using notes and reminders, to more complicated things like using Final Cut Pro, Photoshop, Illustrator, and more professional programs. From all of my testing, even for more intensive things, there's been no slowness, lag, or delays, and actually this entire video was edited on this laptop and it kept up perfectly fine. No problems at all, it was just cutting through footage like butter. It has been an amazing experience. And not once did I experience any hiccups or problems or reasons for me to actually go back to my MacBook Pro. This did everything I needed for this project and countless others I showed off in this video as well. The only thing I wish I got with this computer though is a bit more storage. It's the 512GB SSD model. I wish I got at least the 1TB or 2TB, but besides that, I got no complaints. This is an amazing computer. So that's pretty much it. I love using this machine, I'm a big fan of the new M3 MacBook Air, and I want to hear your thoughts on this computer and this video in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, let me know if you like this style of video. Give me some feedback, I'd love to hear it. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and thank you for watching.